Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that.
I asked for a picture of the officer.
Do you have what you need to provide election security from your lane, from the Congress? Do you have the money and the statutory authority you need?
Well, from our lane, of course, at the FBI, our primary focus is on the malign foreign influence piece. There's a separate election infrastructure piece that DHS deals with the states on more. We feel that we have significant resources devoted to the foreign influence piece, and the President's budget that's currently up before the Congress asked for additional resources to help us do that.
The Chinese, what are the Chinese up to when it comes to counterintelligence operations and bad things?
So, Mr. Chairman, I would say that there is no country that poses a more severe counterintelligence threat to this country right now than China. And I
That's
say
saying a lot.
that is saying a lot, and I don't say it lightly.
Who would be second?
Probably Russia.
What's the difference between first and second?
So China is fighting a generational fight here. And when I say China, I want to be clear. This is not about the Chinese people as a whole, and it's certainly not about Chinese Americans in this country. What it is about, though, is about a country that is, in a variety of ways, through the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, using not just government officials, but private sector entities, non-traditional collectors, et cetera, to steal their way up the economic ladder at our expense. And we have, as we speak, probably about 1,000 plus investigations all across the country involving attempted theft of U.S. intellectual property, whether it's economic espionage or counterproliferation, almost all leading back to China. And so it is a threat that's deep and diverse and wide and vexing, whether it's in terms of the kinds of actors that are used, the kinds of techniques are used, the kind of targets that are used. And so we're working extremely hard with all of our partners to combat it. But make no mistake, this is a high, high priority for all of us.
Are the Russians still trying to interfere in our election system?
The Russians are absolutely intent on trying to interfere with our elections through
Is it fair to say that
foreign influence in particular.
Everything we've done against Russia has not deterred them enough? All the sanctions, all the talk, they're still at it.
Well, my view is until they stop, they haven't been deterred enough.
And they're still doing it.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And your testimony said that the United States significantly underestimates the threat of Chinese economic espionage. What avenues are we seeing where Chinese economic espionage is manifesting?
So certainly it covers the waterfront in terms of sectors, from startups, high-tech companies, all the way to aerospace, to aviation, to agriculture. We had a case in Kansas not that long ago where they were attempting to steal highly proprietary rice seeds that were being developed. The U.S. agriculture is the envy of the world, and that's a place where they've done a number of things. So it covers the whole spectrum of types of sectors, but then in terms of size of businesses, it's Fortune 100 companies all the way down to startups in Silicon Valley. And then in terms of types of techniques, it involves everything from cyber intrusions to corruption of insiders to things that are not illegal but are still a national security threat, different kinds of foreign investment, et cetera. So it's kind of an all-tools approach by them, and it therefore requires an all-tools approach by us. Somewhat similar to the answer I was giving to Senator Kennedy, but separately, as I think has been testified to publicly,